Welcome to another fantastic episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. I review everything on this channel that has anything to do with alcohol. That's quite a task. And I do coffee too. It's amazing. It's a one-stop shop. It's a mega mall for alcohol and coffee too. Mega mall, you're here. You don't have to travel a million YouTube channels, right? Just go on my playlist. I have everything broken down. It's the most extensive playlist on YouTube, but it's also the most easily navigated because I have it in categories and subcategories. If you look at it, it's a beautiful thing, man. The first comment of every video is always pinned because I have a link to whatever I'm reviewing, in this case, bourbon. I ask for your support. I ask for a sub. I'll do the rest, my friends. Remember, I'm the only one in the world that can do this, and I do it with half my taste buds tied behind my back to make things fair to the other YouTubers. What are we doing today? Rabbit Hole. Dareringer Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in PX Sherry Casks. 46.5 ABV, 93 proof. Rabbit Hole is in downtown Louisville. It's got a cool bottle. It's got a rabbit jumping down a hole here engraved in it. Got a nice shape to it. I like the bottle anyway. Thin, nice. It's got a lot of info on it. Now all their whiskey says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and they make it. This one says, if you look, Straight Bourbon Whiskey, right? The others say Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I think they're sourcing this still. They're finishing it at their place, but they're sourcing it. They're not yet making this one. It would say Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. What's it say on the side? Twice finished in new toasted and charred American oak barrels and Pedro Ximenez Sherry Casks. Never chill filtered, as it should be. And I believe they use, what's the name of that barrel company here in Louisville? If I think of it, I'll let you all know. But anyway, let's get in this cool little top. If you can see it. The lighting's not the greatest. There it is. It looks better like that. Just Rabbit Hole. Cooperage. Kelvin. Scottish family came here originally to take casks apart, send them to Scotland for scotch, and ended up just making barrels and staying here and making them. So, I think they came here in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. So, you can see the color, right? Looking at the color. Let's get some flavor on this bad boy. You know what? Yeah, well, we'll use this. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this glass. Hell with it. I'm going to put it in this glass. Alright. It's not a Glencairn, but what the hell? It's not a plastic thimble either. Whoa, way too much. Way too much. Alright, there we go. Ooh. At first I got grain, now it's opening up. It was grainy. I'm getting the sweet sherry. You definitely smell that influence. Oh, that sherry, yeah. Definitely smell it, strong. When they toast it, they heat it up, they bake it, sweats out the vanillins and the lignans, which is the vanillins. And toasting does. Sweats out the sugars as well, and then they don't caramelize it, they're just toasting it. Now, of course, they do use a charred barrel because they have to, per law for bourbon. But then you can use a secondary barrel, which is, it's usually, it's called toasted. And then they finish it in the sherry as well. A little bit of cherry, I smell oak. The dried fruit from the sherry, very good. Acclamation sip, as you know I always do. A little grainy, nice sweetness coming up. Not only sweetness from the bourbon, but from that sherry. Really adding a nice fruity flavor. Very nice. That sherry has done a fine job. I don't know how long they finish it in the sherry barrels, but it has really added a beautiful fruitiness and sweetness to it, on top of the sweetness that is inherent in bourbon anyway. So you're getting brown sugar, you're getting oak, you're getting a little graininess, then the sherry kind of takes over and gives it that fruity, dried fruit, different kind of sweetness, fructose. Of course, it gets better as you sip it, see? It's opening up, my mouth's getting acclimated. It's a very easy sipper, especially for 93. It goes down real easy, real sweet, real nice. Rabbit Hole is doing a good job. They're doing a good job. This one's good. I like it. This one, unfortunately, doesn't have the, and I had it, and now I don't have it. But you can look it up. It's easy enough for the, and I'll have it in the, you know, the description as far as the mash bill. But the flavor's good, and you can definitely taste that sherry influence. All right, everybody, from Distilled Brewed and Reviewed, the Rabbit Hole. Oh, and Dareringer. This guy was a psychologist that owns this, and his wife actually dared him to start a distillery, because it was something he was one of his dreams, and that's where they got the name. The Dareringer is from I dare you to start the distillery. I dare you to do what you've been talking about. So it's interesting. Little story there. All right, everybody, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.